dead yet.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
What I find really difficult is when people offer me platitudes.
I had to deal with enough stuff. I didn't want to have to comfort other people.
You have to figure out how you're going to deal with like school or work or whatever, and you don't have time to get mad.
I did ask questions like, why me?
Why do bad things happen to good people? Like, I'm a good person.
And I would have tantrums. I think they put a big D on my chart. Difficult.
I never asked what my chances were, ever. So I didn't want to know.
It was sort of like, I don't have time to deal with this right now. Like, I don't want this right now. Like, you know, can we put it off maybe for a bit or something? But
What do I believe in? Is there heaven?
I couldn't be bothered worrying about that.
Whether you call it God or nature or whatever, it's this huge thing that's out there.
How can you feel sexy talking about your bodily functions?
I didn't feel sexy a lot, but I always felt beautiful.
We're all gonna die, whether we have cancer or not.
Just not worry about what life's gonna dish me out and just take it.
I mean something to this world, and I'm not just going to disappear. We've all finished high school, and some of us have even finished university, and you go, wow, this is the time, this is my time, this is when I'm going to go, I'm going to explore, I'm going to experience, and then suddenly,
You're not.
you might not. I found that I didn't really get angry until actually after my stem cell transplant. After it's sort of over, that's when I started to get really angry. And I was like, why did this happen to me?
I didn't get angry at all. I got frustrated, like, oh man, if I was feeling better, I can go out and play games with my friends or something, but...
You've got things to deal with. You have to deal with how your family's going to react. You have to deal with how the people in your life are going to react.
I'm not really angry. I was dealing with physiotherapists lots right after my first chemos and stuff. So being angry wasn't really an option. I had to just try to stay positive and
Kind of have to make a conscious decision to be in denial. It's not going to happen. Yeah. Like, ride through the dark. I'm in denial. I can't, like, a lot of times, a lot of things in my life, I just had to, that's a mirror. I'm not going to look. Like, you know, just denial. Like, you just don't think about certain things.
Maybe denial is already like a fairly natural part of me, so I don't even think about it anymore. But yeah, I don't worry so much about like when I'm going to die or whatever. I mean, I kind of hope it's several years from now, but I don't worry about little things.
Could you put that in a bottle and give it to everyone
else?
You're 24 years old, or 23 as I was, and you're sitting in the office and they tell you that the treatments you're going to have are going to make you infertile, and you go, I don't care, I just want to live. And then afterwards, it really bothered me. And I started to get upset because I was thinking that's what that was. And I don't know how it feels for everybody else here with that.
Well, what if I can have kids? Do I want to, though? Are my kids going to have to go through all this stuff? So I was thinking, oh boy, no, maybe I don't want to. And I've always wanted to have kids. I'm a family kind of person. Want to have a wife, tons of kids, all that kind of thing. But thought, well, do I still want that now?
There were days where I was not eating, and this nurse made up this sign that said, no tray, and it had this big, like, Mr. Poison face on it. It summed it up. It was perfect.
Yeah.
They put it in front of me and I was, you know, kind of feeling sick, and I opened the tray and I just lost whatever I had in me in the tray.
And then they could have just taken it to somebody else and no one would have known the difference.
Yeah, I've got a sister. She's turning 22 tomorrow.
Aww.
And she's really behind me on this. She's all worried. You can see she was worried, but she was being strong like I was trying to be. trying to, think, be hopeful, be optimistic for the parents' sake, because they were breaking up like crazy.
I remember my mother would come in and visit me, and she'd sit in the corner of the room, and she'd sort of have her head down. She'd be in total tears. And it made me more upset seeing her like that. Because, you don't want to see your family members all upset. And, I would tell my sister, I'm like, if Mom's going to be like this, don't bring her in.
Dare I say this without blushing? As far as the physical things go on, when you're sick and you have a tube hanging out of your chest and you're bald, you don't feel sexy. You don't want to do anything sexy. Like, some days I don't even want to kiss anybody because I feel like if I kiss someone, I might throw up. Suddenly you're talking about your bodily functions and all this stuff with your boyfriend, and you just don't, how can you feel sexy? And then all your hair falls out. And I mean all your hair falls out, not just everything on your head. And I have a big scar down my belly, and it's just so hard, I think, to readjust, and that they have to, the person you're with has to wait, and they have to wait for you to get ready to be yourself again, and I think that's really hard.
Although I couldn't really look at myself in the mirror a lot, or I just wouldn't see, if I had to look, I just wouldn't see. I actually saw beauty in myself through him.
January 1st, on New Year's Eve, I was out and a buddy of mine, he was like, yeah, we'll shave them together tomorrow. I'm like, all right, I'll give you a call. And sure enough, he came over the next day and we shaved each other's heads.
Aww.
I see him 2 months later and he's got hair and I'm all jealous. I'm like, I want hair too. Let it grow on you.
Friends came to visit me while I was in, and my friend looked at me and said, I love your haircut, it's so... And that was when it started falling out. Oh, no! And I hadn't had that happen before, and he had it in his hand, he's looking at it, he's looking at me, he's looking at it, he's looking at me, he's waiting to see what I'm gonna do, and I looked at him and I was like, this could either be really bad or really funny. And I looked at him and I said, oh, way to go, you're pulling out all my hair, it's never fallen out before. And he was like, ah! And we just laughed about it, and after that, I actually took the beard trimmer and we went really short. And if I were to give anybody advice, and this is the advice I've given, don't go so short that you can't pull it out.
I've been thinking about you every day and night. I've been known to chase rainbows. My friends keep telling me it just isn't right, that I can go wherever the wind blows. But this old heart of mine just won't let me down. I got my feet firmly planted, 6 feet off the ground, yeah, yeah. Oh my, my. I finally realized my life was bound to change. No regrets about tomorrow. Today's the day I finally taken flight. I'm the laughter above your sorrow. 'Cause this old heart of mine never let me down. Where my feet were firmly planted, 6 feet off the ground, yeah, yeah.
Just start talking. You can have as long as you want.
Just dub it later when I think of something. I feel like a kung fu movie.
When you take the time to wander, if your life's been passing you by, here's one thing that I've discovered. Each and every one of us was really meant to